Betrayal and heartbreak had shadowed me for as long as I could remember. My father's indiscretions weren't just family secrets. They were wounds etched into every corner of our home. The unexplained absences, the late nights, the lingering scent of cheap perfume on his shirts. All signs of double life my mother silently endured. I never understood why she stayed. Why did she let him trample over her heart time and time again? Even as a child, I saw how his actions crushed her spirit. I once believed love was magical, untouchable, something that could withstand any hardship. But my parents' marriage shattered that illusion. Their fractured relationship taught me a painful truth. Trust was fragile. Love could be a weapon, and sometimes, no matter how hard you tried, it simply wasn't enough. I swore to myself that when I grew up, love would be different. Then I met Jod in high school. She was everything I had ever dreamed of, kind, loyal, full of life. We built a relationship on what I thought was honesty and mutual respect. When we exchanged vows, I envisioned a life free of the chaos I had grown up in. I was determined to give Jod the stability my parents never had. But even the strongest foundations can crack. And sometimes, storms arrive without warning. I never imagined that the storm would come from the person I trusted most. When Jod spent the night with another man, it wasn't just a mistake. It wasn't just another fight. It was a moment that unraveled everything I believe about love and commitment. She assumed I would let it slide, that her reckless thrill wouldn't mean anything to me. Maybe to her it was fleeting, but to me, it was a betrayal that shattered the very fabric of our marriage. The call that changed everything. The day my world shifted, I was sitting at my desk, sipping my coffee, lost in thought. I reflected on the past, how Jod and I had met, how we had always found our way back to each other, even when life briefly pulled us apart. I thought about our vows, the future we had promised each other. Then my phone rang. An unfamiliar number flashed on the screen. Something told me this wasn't just another robocall. Hello. A man's voice came through. Mr. Taylor? A chill ran down my spine. Yes, this is Trey Taylor. Who's this? The man didn't bother with introductions. He got straight to the point. My name is Michael Hamilton. I work with your wife. I need to meet you this afternoon. There's something you should know. His tone sent a cold wave through me. Is she okay? I asked, my voice laced with worry. She's fine, he replied, but I think you should know what's been going on. Confused and uneasy, I agreed to meet him. He wouldn't say anything over the phone, but something about his voice told me whatever he had to say, it wasn't good. That afternoon, I met Michael at a restaurant. We walked through Central Park, and then he dropped the bombshell. Your wife has been spending a lot of time with a man named Stan Morrison at work, he said. They go to lunch together every day. Today, I overheard them talking about their plans for tomorrow night. Dinner at the Hilton, dancing, and then they're spending the night together. I stopped in my tracks, my mind spinning. Are you saying they're sleeping together? Yes, Michael confirmed. She's shopping for new clothes for the night as we speak. My stomach dropped. The world blurred around me. Why are you telling me this? I asked, barely keeping the tremor from my voice. Michael's expression hardened. I've been married for 9 years. I've been through this before. The legal system screwed me over, and now I'm trying to help someone avoid the same fate. And just like that, the truth was laid bare. Jod wasn't the woman I thought she was. I stood frozen in that moment, trying to process it all. How could she do this? How could she betray me like this? My mind flashed back to my childhood, to the pain my mother endured watching my father's infidelities unfold. I had promised myself I would never end up in the same situation. Yet here I was. The plan. That night, I confronted Jod. But I couldn't let her know I already knew everything. I had to stay calm, act as if nothing had changed. I needed proof. So I hired a private investigator. Every move she made, I tracked. I watched her like a hawk, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. And she never suspected a thing. She carried on as if nothing had changed, planning her night with Stan, completely unaware that I was watching. The following evening, as she got ready for her night out, I played along. We had dinner. and I pretended everything was normal. She kissed me goodbye like she always did, and I forced myself to stay composed. I watched her walk out the door, and in that moment, I knew everything had changed. The aftermath. The next day, when she returned, I was ready. I didn't wait for her to come up with an excuse. I didn't give her a chance to explain. I simply told her it was over. The marriage was done. She begged. She pleaded. She tried to convince me to take her back. But I had already made my decision. I wasn't going to be like my mother. I packed up her things, emptied her closet, even took her personal documents. I wanted no reason for her to come back. I wanted to be free. Jod cried. She swore it was a mistake. But I didn't care. She had made her choice. And so had I. Freedom. Months passed. Jod tried reaching out, but I ignored her. I focused on rebuilding my life, piecing together the wreckage she left behind. And somewhere along the way, I found peace. I realized that revenge wasn't about hurting the person who wronged you. It wasn't about making them suffer. It was about reclaiming your own life, your own happiness. It was about having the strength to walk away. Jod never came back. And for the first time in years, I was finally free. You said, now give me a high-quality prompt for image related to my story with all characters at the ratio 16:9. ChatGPT said, here's a high-quality image prompt based on your story. Prompt: a dramatic scene set in a dimly lit apartment at night. A man, Trey Taylor, sits at a desk, staring at his phone with a shocked expression. Coffee cup beside him. Flashbacks around him. His father leaving home, his mother crying alone, and his wife, Jod, secretly texting another man. In the background, Jod is seen dressed elegantly, walking out the door with a confident yet deceptive look, unaware of Trey's watchful gaze. The atmosphere is tense, with shadows and warm, moody lighting. A sense of heartbreak and betrayal fills the air. The composition is cinematic, with deep contrast and a realistic art style. This will create a visually striking and emotional image that captures the essence of your story. Let me know if you want any modifications.